What's up, Brandon Northwicks here with Business for Breakfast, episode number 16. We're coming strong here, and I wanted to make today's episode all about bios on social media. So make sure to stick around for this so you are not left being one of those people. Stay tuned. Well, thanks for coming back, man. I appreciate you for spending some time with me today on episode number 16. And we're going to be talking all about social media and how not to really censor yourself as somebody who does not know what they're doing in business. Okay, there's a lot of people out there that are brand new to whether it be internet marketing, developing their own brand, launching some kind of product. And what happens is they start out doing things that they see other people doing, and because they see other people doing it, they believe it's the best way to go. And I'm just here to tell you that if the crowd's moving to the left, think about why that is and start going the other way. Don't look at what other people are doing, look at what they are achieving, look at the results they're getting, right? So if you're somebody right now brand new to business and you've been wondering what is it that you can do differently than anybody else, well, first things first is to have a profile that actually has a picture in it. Okay, being able to have that profile in your image will be crucial to the engagement that you get. If you are not looking to build a brand and you're not looking to build that relationship, then don't even start your profile. If you're just gonna go and try and just spam people and tag people in these posts and do things that are just obnoxiously, ridiculously stupid to think that if you're gonna get paid money to get done, right? That is not what it's there for. That's not what the social media profile is there for. So you've got to be able to get yourself into that place of understanding that, okay, well, what am I here for? Am I here to make money? Am I here to build relationships? Am I here to do both? What is my purpose here? And if you're looking to make sales, you're going to need to learn the process of how to communicate. The better you know how to communicate, the more money you're going to make. That's just plain and simple across the board. Doesn't matter if you're looking to, have sales be your thing, or if you're looking to, do things in another way. But I believe that we're all in sales in some way, shape, or form. So just understanding how to communicate will help develop your sales skills, which will always make you more money than the next person. So understanding that's going to be huge. And the way that we communicate without actually saying something is based off of things like what we wear, right? Based off the music that we listen to, based off the books that we read. Well, people that come to your profile on social media, that's how they judge you. They're going to judge you out the gate by, okay, well, what does his profile header look like? What does his bio say? What are the first 3 or 4 images that are on his page? They don't go more than that. You've got about 5 to 10 seconds to pick up somebody when they visit your site to say, okay, well, is this somebody that I want to connect with? And if you're building a business, you've got to attract the right people. So even though you might be building your personal page that's built around your preferences, if your preferences don't match with your market's preferences, when they go to find you, they're not going to be able to relate to you. They're going to say, hold on, this person's 2 totally different people. She's speaking a message of, this over here, but then when I go to her personal page, it doesn't say anything like that. There's no congruency. So make sure that as you develop your brand, as you go through this process of evolving, as you make it to where you are going to be gaining money and making money and monetizing that audience, you've got to be able to say the same message that you've been trying to speak. And so make sure that your header images match that mission. Make sure that your profile is actually of you. Don't do that, what other people are doing right now. Believe me, when you see the amount of people that are trying to friend request people every day, trying to connect with them, quote unquote, and they don't have a bio, they don't have images set up, they don't have a picture of themselves in there. That kind of stuff is not gonna help you. And if you are really looking to connect with people who are leaders in the industry of some sort, and you're really looking to make that impression on people, then you've got to take your stuff serious. And I don't care if you're never on Facebook. If you have a Facebook profile, you've got to make it work. If not, then go ahead and just delete it, right? Just get rid of it. I think that we need to have social media profiles open on every single medium. I mean, if you're not over here on, Twitter, and you're not over here on Instagram, and you're not on, Blab, and you're not on Vimeo or Vine, and you're not on, all these things that are really gonna, help you get that audience out there. Even if that's not where a big percentage of your audience is, if you can automate that and you can get that content out there to be distributed for you, then what happens is it frees up more of your time and it gives you longer of a reach. So understanding that your bios on every single one of those platforms have all pretty much got to be the same. They don't have to be copy and pasted, but that could help. All you want to do is make sure that when somebody comes to visit your profile on Google+, they get the same kind of person that they would on Facebook. Believe me, it's nothing worse than being able to see something that's like, oh man, this person's really positive and upbeat and has something really great to give the world, and then you see over on their Instagram feed a bunch of things that do not resonate with that kind of message. You'd be surprised as to how often that happens, maybe, because people, they want to put on these shows. They think that, okay, well, I got people on Instagram who want this from me, and I got people on Facebook who want this from me. The only thing that those people want is you. They want you. They want your real, genuine, authentic way of doing things. And when you get to a point to where you are constantly showing up and you're constantly building that value, you're going to end up getting more followers. And so that's the next point I wanted to bring up, was consistency, was being able to know that you've got to have a daily routine, not a budget. You got to have a routine in place. And your routine has got to be able to speak to you every single day. If you do not do your routine, then you're not going to get the habit to form. You need to form good habits. That means that you're going to have to focus on your end result every single day. So meaning that if you focus on, I got to write 50 blogs this month. Oh, that's terrible. But if you focus on, okay, well, I've got to write one paragraph in the next hour, all of a sudden now it doesn't seem so heavy. Now all of a sudden it doesn't seem so hard to, digest. So figure out exactly what it's going to take for you to show up every day, but you need to show up every day. You need to make it videos, blogging, articles, social media posts, whatever it is, webinars, whatever it is that you need to do. I know that I love webinars. I love doing those webinars, but I do those maybe once a month, which, they're going to be starting to increase, but it takes a lot to get the content ready, right? So doing those live web classes, the live web teachings, the consistency in whatever you do needs to be there. So if you're going to be doing your social media postings 3 times a day, then do them 3 times a day, right? If you're going to do them 10 times a day, do them 10 times a day. It doesn't have to be the same every time, every day, but people need to be used to seeing you a certain amount of time into their feed. When they get used to seeing that, doesn't matter if it's 20 or 30 times a day. Believe me, there's a lady that I know that literally posts every 15 to 30 minutes. I know it, and I don't know how she does it. I don't know how she's on Facebook that much, but she does. And she crushes it. She makes, over $250,000 a year between all her things, between all her businesses. And, she makes it work. She doesn't really dabble into paid advertising at all. Me personally, I can't see myself at, 2 in the morning as well as 2 in the afternoon and 6 at night and doing all these things that are going to take my time away from my family. I want to be able to deliver value and automate a lot of the stuff that, other people are doing. So, I believe that there's a channel for, that human interaction? Absolutely. But there's also got to be a way for you to be consistent without being there all the time. So think about, what you can do to maybe get new distribution channels, maybe a way to fill out a new way or figure out a new way to, get your content out there without you having to actually manually do it. Okay. And then another thing that we wanted to talk about was the way that you respond to people when they find you on Facebook. This is a question that gets asked to me a lot, is, Brandon, what do I say to the people who find me on Facebook? Well, there's a couple of different routes that I like to take people down, but there's really only 2 main ones. And the 2 main ones really are still genuine and authentic, but it's almost like copy and paste all the way down. I mean, it's just the way it is. It almost works like that with everybody. I mean, there's going to be some, insert name here, insert their company, insert their problem, insert benefit, kind of like, ad-lib kind of plug and play. But for the most part, it's pretty much, hey, how's it going? Thanks for the friend request. Thanks for the friend request. How's everything going? That's where it starts. So that's my step. That's my number one step, and number one tip to you when it comes to engaging with the people, is being able to know that your conversation is starting from scratch. And there's no better way to start a conversation than by saying, hey, how's it going? Hey, look, I appreciate what you just did. I acknowledge that. And, how's everything going for you? And that's really what we want to do. What we call it is the ATAO method. It's called acknowledge, thank, ask, offer. So ATAO, acknowledge, thank, ask, offer. And that's really the process in which we take people through. We acknowledge them and say, hey, thanks for sending me that friend request. I appreciate that. Thank them, like I said, thank you. So acknowledge and thank. I do that. I do AT in the very first step. So I acknowledge and I thank them in the very first message. I'll say, hey, thanks for sending me that friend request. How's everything going? Or, I appreciate you sending me that friend request. I appreciate you sending that friend request. Thank you a lot. How's everything going, right? However you want to do whatever's, best for your personality. But being able to acknowledge and then thank them Now we can move on to the next step. We can ask them some questions and start to dig deep into their pain points. And so as you are building out your, like we said in the beginning of this, as you're building out your social media profile, that all that information that they've been able to gather, all that stuff they've been able to, all that data they've been able to get now comes into play when they are talking to you in a direct message. Now it's like, okay, let me go to this person's page and see what I can find. Now they're doing some searching. Now it really matters about how you're setting up your bio. It really matters how you have your header set up and how you have your profile. Because when you get into these direct messages, now you're going to be able to ask them or acknowledge them, thank them, and now you want to ask them, hey, look, so how did you find me? That's one question, because I have different things that point people to Facebook. So it could be a website, it could be a Twitter account, could be Instagram, could be YouTube, could be some random, Google search, but what I like to ask them that for is so I need to know where a majority of my efforts need to be. So I'll ask them, that's one of the two routes, which is, how did you find me? I'm curious, how did you find me? And when you put the I'm curious there, it doesn't sound too harsh. If you just put, hey, look, how'd you find me? It does not seem welcome or friendly. So make sure to put like a smiley face, or make sure to put like, I'm curious, ... how'd you find me? That kind of stuff really helps when they're reading it. Because you got to remember, we're reading these things. These people are reading these messages. There's no, unless you want to voice message, you can voice message it too. But either way, you want to get that message out where you acknowledge and you thank them. Then you want to ask them. So when they respond back, 95% of the people, they're going to respond back with, when you say, how's everything going? They're going to respond back with, things are great. How's everything with you? How about you? Now you just go into saying something about you, but then you turn it back to them, okay? Everything that we do in business is about them. Everything we do in relationships is about them. The more you can talk about them and get them to talk about themselves, the more they're going to be open to hearing what you have to say when it's time for you to say it. So the back and forth is going to be, how about you? And then that's when you say, hey, things are incredible right now, going amazingly well. Health, family's healthy, business is great. So I see that you are a blank, right? An entrepreneur, self-employed. I see you have two beautiful kids in your picture. Are they yours? Are they yours? Do you work from home? What we want to do is start to go down the path of getting them to open up about their business. And so when they are, and this is strictly for people who are, if you have a business of your own and you're looking to collect clients through Facebook, this whole tip's going to work for you. It doesn't matter if you're a carpenter. It doesn't matter about if you're a therapist. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that you have a business that you are looking to gain clients from. Now, this is why I love messaging, because I don't spend too much time on it every day, but I do know that the time that I do spend is well spent, because I can actually obtain client meetings, which lead to client sales. So with you being able to follow this method, which is, like we said, acknowledge, thank, ask. So we would ask them then, how'd you find me? Or the other one is, how are you working on anything new? What type of projects are you working on? So it would sound something like, how's everything going with you? They'll respond back with, oh, this is great. Things are great. How about you? And you reply back, man, things are amazingly well. Are you working on any new projects right now? What do you have going on in 2016? Do you have any big goals, big plans? Things like that. Get them to start talking about their business. Get them to start talking about their aspirations. When you can do that, you can get to a whole nother depth inside of what you can do, for them, I mean. So you can actually turn somebody who is just interested in becoming a friend into, oh, what? Hold on, this is what you do? I had no idea. To now they're meeting with you one-on-one, to now you're closing them into your company, or you're selling them on a product, or you got them on as a client. Whatever it is that you're looking to get them to do, I'm telling you, by being able to have these profiles set up to win, and then being able to have that ATAO method set up for you to respond back to these people will help you make more sales. That I guarantee it. So I hope that you took some value out of today and take some notes. Make sure to go out there and do exactly that. Build out those profiles to where they are speaking your mission. Have a profile picture in there of yourself, and then go through the ATAO method and see how it works for you when you're looking to build your business. So I thank you for taking time out and watching today's episode. If you would like me to show you more about how I'm helping people, like business owners, really connect with their audience and do it in a way that nobody else is doing right now, as well as some other really cool tricks like building out sales funnels and attracting different kind of traffic using different methods, and really building out a marketing and sales process for you that's tailored to your vision and where you see yourself in the next 12 months, then visit me at brandonnorthwick.com and we'll schedule out with a one-on-one session with me. It'll take about 60 to 90 minutes, and we'll go into detail about how you can take these plans and really one with them inside your business. So I appreciate you for taking time out today. Make sure to come back tomorrow, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.